Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the beautiful city of Nerdshire. Things are going all right. I have to say, they're going all right. You know, we've got, $8.7 million, 176,000 people. We're making like between $7,000 to $11,000 per week. We're gaining more people, and I'm liking it. I'm definitely having some fun. Today is going to be part 30, and if you've been paying attention for the last little while, you'll be aware that today is going to be the final episode, not of the series, before you start freaking out. Today is going to be the final episode before I go ahead and add in a few mods that I think are going to be vital for helping us manage the city in the future. Now, speaking of mods, last episode I did ask about Demand Master and what people thought of that, and the general consensus seemed to be that it was okay, but it made it sort of less interesting to watch things if I'm using it all the time. So I totally get that. Basically, Demand Master messes up not only the balance of the city, but the balance of a video, because the progression is a little bit less natural. And it also encourages me to not necessarily build the city in an interesting way where I'm dealing with issues as I construct it, but instead it encourages me to just build and expand massively and rapidly without any consideration for the issues that are currently taking place in the city. So today what I want to try and do is, number one, I want to expand up into this area. I know I just said that I have a problem with expanding without consideration, but bear with me. I want to expand into this area here and maybe put the shuttle launch site on this island. But I also want to see if I can deal with some of the issues. Mostly the whole not enough goods to sell thing, because that is kind of a problem. That is a pretty big issue pretty much across the board in the city. So that would imply that we need more industrial zoning, or, as I've said before, would it really imply that? Because we have a lot of industrial zoning. We have so much industrial zoning right in here, over here. We have some over here, a bit down here. So we have a lot of industry. But the issue, as I'm sure you're all aware, is that the industry is having trouble getting around the city, especially going in this particular direction over here. It is just struggling to go anywhere. And that is mostly because it has to use all of these main roads to get through different areas. So what I'm thinking I want to do is I'm going to upgrade this road to start with. Or I'm not. I'm going to upgrade neither of those. Actually, what I'm going to do is just put a new road right there. Yes, bit of an angle. Yeah, probably not the best place for it, but I'm putting it there. And that's going to be another way for traffic to get through into that space there. I'm also thinking it would be an idea to, well, traffic can flow up there pretty well already. I think that road might be a good help for it, though. That's going to be a way for traffic to sort of go up and around that way a little bit quicker. It would maybe be nice to... Can I change out the radio station? This song annoys me. We've had classical for a while. I don't want to use Gold FM because it has copyright songs. What about, like, Cities Radio? No, that's good. That's good. Different songs from different Paradox games, I think. What about Rock City? What about bringing, like, the music volume up a bit so I can actually hear it? We'll give this a shot. I know I play with the music from time to time. Oh. You know what? That's not bad. As long as no one starts singing badly, we're fine. So we'll go with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to just take the zoning off of this district here as well. Or that road. Oh, he's singing. No, less of that. We're going to go back to city's normal music. For the time being. I just want a bit of a change in music, basically. So yeah, we've got, more ways of traffic to sort of flow through there. We have this little connection here, which might get used, might not. I think the biggest thing I need to do really is look at where traffic's going. So on that road, I mean, a lot of it is actually service vehicles going back and forth, but a lot of it's sort of coming through here and is trying to go that way. A lot of it's coming in and going, around here off of the highways. So that is definitely one issue. A lot of it's heading up as well. Yeah, there's actually a decent bit of it going to start using that road there, which is kind of nice. A lot of trucks going up there, which is pretty good. I think what we just need are a few more connections through all of these spaces. So I think that road there is going to help. That road will probably get some good use as well. But I'm definitely looking at this and thinking, you know, wouldn't it be nice if we could just get more connections? Because we have 3 right beside each other here, but then there's none down here. And if there was one here, or like down here somewhere, that would mean that we could have a lot of industrial traffic rather than using this main road, so to go that way. It doesn't help as well that there's so much traffic in this space already trying to come through. So it really just looks to me like we need more ways for the traffic to get around. So I'm going to look into that in just a moment. I think what I want to do, though, is I do want to just work on expanding this area whilst I have the idea in my head. So the idea is that we're going to bring this road straight up to, say, I don't know, there, I think would be the ideal spot. And then I want to go, I mean, that's kind of fine. So say like that and the whole way across. And I do think bringing this up this way might be an idea. Maybe even to that point would probably work. And then across like so. So it does have that little curve that sort of follows the highway there. And then what I want to do is I actually want to, I want to go ahead and I want to start putting in a one-way road here. Now that's going to have to go a little bit closer to the highway there. So it's got the same kind of zoning. So the one-way road's going to go right down to there. And that's going to go up to the one-way road there. And essentially what I'm going to try and do is have this one-way road follow along the whole way here. If I can get it to work that way. It might be a little bit tricky to do that. But it's going to follow the curvature of the keys here. Till at that point, it's going to go the whole way around. And then it's going to link back up with the other one-way road over here. So it's going to go around like that, basically. It's going to be one-way road going around this entire space. And I think that'll be kind of cool. So 2 about there. About there. Let's see. Bring that to that point and curve it that way. The zoning's not going to be perfect along the whole thing. It is going to get a little bit weird down here. But I like the idea that we're going to have, you know, this one-way road going around here. I think that's going to be kind of fun. So that's going to curve to that point and in a bit further to maybe that point. I don't know. That's not quite working. Okay. So this needs to curve to there and then it needs to curve up, basically. So it needs to go that way and straight to there. And that'll work. So you can go left, you can go right, you can do whatever. I think that little bit there does absolutely need to have a bit of a curve on it. So something like that should do the job. And we do need to sort of flip that around as well. So just like that. But that right there, I think, will be a really interesting ring road to have going around that entire area. Which is hopefully not all going to be one district, because that could end up being a complete nightmare, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I haven't really decided yet, so, you know, that kind of stuff's all up in the air. But there we go. Just one big road going around that entire space. In here could be something. We can put some interesting zoning in there, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and maybe try getting some roads in there. So I'm thinking we'll start there and we'll go, I think we'll go with the usual method of going sort of straight down towards the key there. Because I do like having some good zoning along the water there. So sort of down like this, down to about there, and can I get one more in the middle? Is it actually going to fit? No, there's going to be an awkward gap. Of course there is. Okay, what if we did something like that? And what if we did something like that? So yeah, the zoning between those three spaces there are all even, which is totally fine by me. So we'll turn off the Okay, we've got grid snapping turned off, which is a bit of an issue for this. So this is going to come right down to sort of the middle there. And it's sort of going to follow like that. And that should be fine. And then we want another pathway to come down the middle to there. And go that way. And go that way. And then this one's going to do exactly the same thing, going to there and to there. Like so. There we go. So that's just going to give us a nice little thing going there. I do like the idea of having a pathway just along the key there, sort of following the curvature of the thing. I think that'd be kind of nice. So just have that go there. And this could maybe go the whole way across as well. So this can actually just curve and follow the curvature of the key. Just the whole way around. I think that'll be really, really nice to have. Going right down to the end of that road there. And yeah, there's industrial buildings just opposite, but regardless, I think that's going to be really nice. We're going to do the same just over here, where that's going to follow around the whole thing. Yes, it's going to interrupt some of the potential zoning there, but I can't say I'm too worried about that because I think it's going to look pretty. So there we go. Right there, you can walk the whole way around that bit of key, and it's going to look amazing. So what I also want to do is come in like this and have that little road go through there so we can get some zoning in this space. And I'm going to do the same just over here as well, so we can get some zoning into that space as well. So that area right there, I don't really know what it's going to be. Haven't really decided, but I do like the idea of maybe having some roads sort of go through the middle there. Something like that. So those roads are just connected slightly. I think that could be a really nice housing space, actually. So we might zone that in just a moment. But this space over here, I feel like it does still need to be high-density stuff. The whole thing is going to be high-density. Because it's going to look really cool if you're over here and you look across the body of water, a bunch more apartment buildings. I just think it still needs to be... It still needs to be high-density, but not full high-rises. So it's still going to have a high-rise band. And it also is going to be largely grid-based. At least to begin with. Coming off this main road up here, I think it's going to be largely grid-based. Once we get a little bit further towards the keys, we can maybe break away from that, but we'll see how that goes. We'll just bring this down like so for the time being. So just the whole way down here. Hopefully this will work out well. I am a little bit concerned about what way the traffic might flow around here, because thus far my traffic hasn't flowed amazingly well, let's be honest. So maybe what I'll do is I'll actually put an avenue down through the middle, so that traffic kind of has an interesting way to go around there. And that could actually connect up to that road quite nicely as well. So we'll just have that avenue going through there, so it does sort of divide things up. It means that can sort of be its own district as well, which I think will be really useful. Maybe a couple of little dead-end roads in there as well, just to shake things up a bit. Could even do a little pedestrian path in there if I wanted to, which I think would look really nice. So just something like that. I like that. I know it's just a big grid, but I like it, and I think this is going to look really cool. So this area down here, I mean, to be honest, I don't really know what way to lay it out, because this can come straight down, but it can't connect directly to that road. So I think what I may do is go as close to the road as I can take it, but not actually connect it. And then do pedestrian paths, connecting all of it up. So you can walk from that circular road onto these ones. Now that right there can go straight down, and I think that's going to be a good idea to have that go straight down. And I think it's going to be a good idea to turn that into an avenue as well. And then maybe this road here gets disconnected, and it is a dead-end road as well. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, obviously, we are going to have the slight issue where, you know, there's a lot of junctions really close to each other. A lot of them are four-way junctions, but the plan here is going to be to turn off the traffic lights at a lot of these. I think that'll be good. So what we want to do is we want to go from the end of these roads, and we want to connect as best we can to the little, the road here. So if I turn off grid snapping, I want this to go as close to that as I can. And I want this to go from here to there. And this one can go from there to there. And yeah, these are all just going to be connected together like so that people can walk from that ring road up through the district. I think that's going to be really, really nice to do. So you can walk to that bit, you can walk to that bit, and that's fine. But I also kind of like the idea that you're going to be able to walk between all of those roads. So I want that to go straight down to about there. And I want that to go straight down to about there. And it's going to be a similar story with all of these. They're all going to come down, come around, and they're all going to link up sort of like that. We're going to leave sort of a space for about a depth of 2 on all of this zoning. Except for this one, which might be a little bit more than that. So from there, going that way is probably fine. And this can go sort of like that. I like it. I like it. That's going to look really good, actually. I'm really looking forward to seeing this area get built up. And I'm also going to try and not use Demand Master to actually have it build up, because I'd like this to build up naturally. I might just have to wait a little while for that to actually happen, which is kind of unfortunate, but that is the side effect of Demand Master that people were warning me about. I was aware, like I said last time, you know, I was more than aware of what Demand Master would do to the balance of a city. It's just I've used it a lot, so that balance is going to be way out of whack. But that's all right. I think I'm also going to have this one just sort of continue up that way, the whole way around to, say, there. And we'll do the same on this side as well, so it just continues and follows the same pattern. So just the whole way to there. I like it. That absolutely works. This area over here, I do want to have just a bit more zoning come through, so like that will do the job, and it's connected up to the pathways. I like it. Yeah, just a big grade, but it has that one-way road going around it, so it should be totally fine. It's going to need services. We are going to need to get some general services across the city as well. A lot of this space is covered, but I would like to get an actual like little fire station. Actually, wow, a lot of this area has really bad fire coverage. Let's get a little fire department there. And let me put a big fire department out here. So that'll give some really good coverage to that area. Then out this way, we're going to put another small fire department. And I mean, let's be honest, this is probably going to hurt the income for a while, but I think having these fire departments is going to be really good stuff. Policing, generally fine. Healthcare could be better around some of these parts. So a small little medical clinic out there, I don't think it's going to hurt. I think up this way, we're definitely going to want some good stuff. So I think one of these spaces in here, we could totally get a hospital. So maybe if we did, let me do that for a second, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. We're gonna put some parking lots, because I like having parking lots next to my hospitals. It kind of makes sense to me. So a couple of parking lots just there on the top end right there, and a couple on the bottom, like I said, like it did. It works. Makes sense. Then for fire coverage, I want a big fire station there. I want a big police station there, with a pathway going across that way. No parking lots in those, except maybe just there, because I can. So yeah, that'll absolutely work. That'll be some good coverage for all that area. Hopefully the one-way road is going to do a good service to that space. If it doesn't, then we have a problem. But what I'm also going to do is just extend this the whole way down to that corner. To about there. And just bring it the whole way around. So that the whole area is going to have some water. So that the whole area is going to be able to have a nice drink. And so that hopefully, when the whole area eventually builds up, it's actually going to function. Because if it doesn't, then we have a problem. But let's just bring the pipes through. I've gotten a lot less neat with my pipes recently, and it annoys me, because I had some really nice, neat pipe work going on over this way, but that not so much right there. But I guess we'll not worry about it. So let's have a look at the demand. Demand is like 0 and -2. So demand is still technically dropping. Basically, we have more houses than we have people. We have more shops than people, more industrial stuff than people. That's basically what's going on with demand right now, and that is going to be the way it works. But that's okay, because eventually it is going to recover. Also, someone was keen to point out that aquariums traditionally aren't this popular. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. You're completely right. But, you know, it's an aquarium. But that does remind me, looking at the aquarium, that someone was saying we should absolutely put in a stadium. And you know what? I think you're right. And I'm looking at this area and thinking that this would be a really nice spot for a stadium right here. I'm actually, you know what? We're going to go in and we're going to tear some of this apart real quick. So that's going to go back about that far. And I want to connect those roads across like this for a second. And delete that. Just right there. Because right in there, we could totally throw a stadium. Like the default one or Juventus Stadium could be really cool. We've got Stamford Bridge if we wanted that. It's not going to sit central though, so no. Ooh, what is that one? What is that one? That one is New Camp, I think you probably, or Camp New. I think it's pronounced New Camp though. And that one, I'm going for this one. We're absolutely going for the Barcelona Stadium. So basically we need to bring this forward a little bit. So like that, I think, would do the job. No, not that. Like this. And I think it would fit. Hopefully. Please fit. Please, please fit. Oh, that is pretty. That's really, really pretty. It'd be really cool to have it face the other way, to be honest, I think. So that if the entrance was like down here. I don't know if that'd be possible though, because I think... I mean, it looks cool regardless. It does look cool regardless. Yeah, FC Barcelona. Not a football guy myself, but oh, that's a pretty looking stadium. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think, honestly, I think that looks kind of cool. I also like that I can technically put the pathways going through the stadium. That's nice. So does that mean I could like have a pathway that sort of comes down this way? Oh no, it's not going to work now. All right. I see how it's going to be. I can do that though, so it is connected, and I can do that as well. I turn off the grid snapping and turn off the angle snapping. I can do sort of that, I guess. Get rid of that tree. So that right there is possible, so it looks kind of connected. I think that looks all right. I think that's going to just have to do the job. I don't think we're going to be able to do much with that. Unfortunately, we can't even go ahead and put in parking lots on this side because of the way I've done stuff. I know. Unfortunately, we can't do parking lots. I'm sure some of you are just devastated at that news. But what I think I will do is disconnect those bits and bring this straight across. Because then I can do parking lots. Because what I can do is bring this road right back, go for road length to there, and to there. And do parking lots like this. Because then we can get parking lots, and it would make sense because it's a stadium. And a big one at that. So for those of you that were about to complain about parking lots, let me remind you, it's a real big stadium. So it kind of makes sense. A lot of these roads are going to have to come out. We're going to have to adjust them. Because this area just got a lot different. It's very different to what it was originally going to be. Is basically what I'm getting at here. So that's going to go. That's going to come down to there and there. And that road's going to come down to there. Then that one's going to come down to there. And we're going to do the same just over here if we can, which we can. Beautiful. So there and there as well. All right. So let's put the parking lots in the way we're gonna. So we have a lot of them. And I know we did this last episode, but you have to admit, this time I have a much better reason for putting this many parking lots in. Like that looks cool to me. That makes sense. I like it. I think that's kind of cool. Can I bring this road straight down? Unfortunately, no. Can I bring that one straight down? No. Ugh, that's a shame. All right, well, this one could be extended quite a bit to there. And this one could be extended quite a bit to there, I think. Is that about in line? I think that's in line. No, is that in line? 90 degrees. No, it's not. That one's slightly too far. So to there, and there we go. So those two are in line. We'll get more along those ones. And more along those ones as well. And I think it looks interesting. I think it's nice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring a road across there and there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and leave some space between the road in front of the stadium and the other roads here. So that, you know, it doesn't immediately look like we're going straight into buildings. Because, you know, you kind of wouldn't. So let's bring this pathway back down and around, since that's a thing that I still want here. So that's going to come to about there. And that's going to go to about there. And there. Yeah, that works. That totally works. This space just over here is going to go like that, I guess. Interesting that that's, yeah, it is sort of central. It's gonna have to do the job. We'll bring this to there, and there we go. I think that looks cool. I think that looks really nice. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm actually absolutely gonna make this like a leisure area here, so that the buildings aren't gonna be too huge around the stadium. So this little space in the middle is just gonna be its own little self-contained district for leisure over on this side of the river. So that's going to be Sheffield Square. I don't think that's going to be appropriate, considering the Barcelona Stadium's right there, but whatever. We'll bring another district sort of through like this. And it's going to come up and around the one-way road. In fact, it's going to go up to the highway and along that, since that's kind of the point that we were measuring off of for this, this particular space. Then we'll fill all of that in as well. And we'll have that come across and all around like that. Get rid of the zoning on that avenue. I don't know if I'm going to have any old town policies in here. I don't know if that'll be a thing we need, to be honest. But I still like to have my zoning be really neat. I like it to not be on avenues for the most part. So that's why it's coming off of the avenues. It can stay on that road over there, though. And maybe just go back like that. Just there. Okay, maybe it shouldn't be in the one-way road, actually. Yeah, it probably shouldn't be on that road at all. So everything within that space... Oh, that means that... No, we're just not going to do an old time policy. Because that would mean that the buildings on the outside of that road could go and be high-rise buildings, which we really don't want. So we'll do this kind of thing just there. There we go. All right. And then the space around the new Sheffield Square, which I will eventually rename. I realize, honestly, probably should have done this outer district first. That probably would have made a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, let's get the districts done and then see what we're dealing with here. And there we go, the districts are done. Belmont Heights, Strawberry Square, Wood Park, and Florence Square. They'll probably all get renamed at some point in the not-too-distant future, but I think those names work for the time being. I think they do the job. Quite happy with them, so I'm not going to worry too much. And quite a few people actually showing up over here to the stadium and the parking lots already, because, you know, tourists will absolutely do that. I don't think we'll stress too much about that. Let me just go ahead and make sure they're not parking on the roads, because we most certainly want to avoid that kind of thing. There we go. So yeah, they're not going to be doing too much parking on those roads, which is beautiful. We are going to need to bring a bus over this way. Probably also worth having a metro station, or maybe two of them over here. One that maybe connects directly to the airport, and one that maybe connects directly to the sort of grid of metro stations that we have. We could, by all means, bring the tram out here. That would definitely be an option. The tram could come right out and loop the whole way around and do all that stuff. That's definitely a thing we could do, just looking at this. So that could be kind of cool. But I don't know. I don't know if that's something we want to do just yet. What I do want to do, though, is come over to this island and get all of these trees off of there, or at least as many as I can. because I want to start getting ready to turn it into the Space Shuttle launch site, which means that this area over here is about to become real interesting. We've got opportunities for people to sit and watch their football, and then just in the background, like a shuttle is going to take off or something. I think that's really, I think that's going to be kind of fun, to be honest. I mean, can you just imagine, you know, Barcelona or Manchester United? Good job me naming some football teams right there. Oh God, I've just realized I've said football and half of the comments are going to be about the fact that, hey, like, don't you mean like a soccer or something like that? Yeah, no, I mean football. So anyway, ugh. The like to dislike ratio in this video is going to be interesting. Anyway, point is that we're about to have a pretty cool looking island over here. I just want to raise it up a little bit to like that height. So to about there, bring up the strength and just flatten it all out a little bit. Just so the island is a little bit further out of the water. Maybe a little bit higher as well. So to like that point. Just there. And then raise it up. Just so the island's all sort of one uniform height, but also a little bit further out of the water. So that, you know, there's no real risk of it like flooding or anything like that. We also have like too much soil right now, so let's bring up... Actually, let's not raise the land in there at all. Let me like raise... Not enough soil. Oh, we don't have... Okay. Let me cut away a bit of the land over here then. Just so we can get some soil going. Trying to lower some land out there, something like that. Again, just to get some soil. We could lower the land in here as well. Just to get ourselves quite a bit too. So that'll kind of work right there. And then what we want to do is go back to this brush size just there. And bring all the land up. Now I'm pretty sure I just raised a bit of land under there, which I'd like to go ahead and fix. Just by lowering considerably right there. And then we can flatten this land out again, just sort of like this. So there we go. That right there, I think is going to be a nice little island for Space Shuttle launching. Although I want to sort of just smooth out that side in general there. And that side too. Because we need the keys around this thing to look really good. I also kind of like the idea that we're going to have this come to a bit more of a sort of angly point looking thing there. We just need to make something that the keys can go around kind of easily. Otherwise we're going to have a problem. So let's just lower this all and do like a flat edge there. Which I know isn't the most realistic thing in the world, but again, that's going to be super useful for getting a nice key along there. Which I definitely want. So let the water flow in. Water level's going to be a bit weird in this particular body of water for a while. Although I'm not too worried. So let's see. Can we get a key that goes from there to there fairly uninterrupted? We absolutely can. Can I get this to curve around there? Not quite, but I could probably get that to go to there and that to go... Oh, careful. Like that, possibly? Not quite. Let's see. So that's gonna go... Oh, come on, work with me here. Can I turn on road guidelines real quick? So bring that out to like there and do... Oh, so that's too short just in general. Alright. Well, that's a pain. Okay. So that's gonna go to there and that's gonna go... This needs to curve back. So this needs to sort of come in... Oh, that's a bit weird. This needs to come around like that and like that. And then curve that way. There we go. So that's what I wanted. Then I want this to come pretty much straight along there and go for that curve. Go for that and go for that curve there. And again, we're going to go straight along this edge, which looks kind of cool. And I wonder if I can get that to curve in like so. Not quite. So the distance there is a bit too short. That's okay. Bring that out a bit further and see if we can do it again. Distance is still okay. So maybe it's just not going to work, but I am determined to try. Really doesn't look like it's gonna, does it? Oh, hello. So that kind of works. And then can that go, like, straight to there? I mean, almost. There's definitely an almost in there. Oh, there we go. That doesn't look so bad. That actually looks kind of decent. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised that actually worked. So the Space Shuttle launch site is actually not too big either. So what I'm going to do is I think we're going to go for like a little one-way system sort of thing here. The launch site itself, I mean, this can go sort of that way and back to there, down to there and across. Turn off the grid snapping for a second. Across that point up to there. So that's going to be our little one-way system just going around that area. I don't necessarily need the space shuttle to be perfectly central, but I'd like it to be somewhat central, so like there possibly. Yeah, that works. That's fairly central. That road can go to there as well. I think that road's fine, just looping around like that. In fact, I think that right there can be the only section of two-way road, so you can keep going around or you can keep following the loop. So that's perfectly fine. I am going to want some pedestrian paths in here, so we're going to need grid snapping. We're going to need this to just go the whole way around the launch site, because I do like me some pedestrian paths, as we all know. We're also going to need services out here, so I think like a fire department right there is a really good idea, and a small police station right next to it isn't going to hurt either. So those two things absolutely make sense. In terms of other unique buildings, I mean, the software development studio is such an interesting looking building. I think it'll be really good out here. The television station, do we have? Yeah, we do. It could be kind of interesting though. Semiconductor plant's too big. The research center already exists, I believe. Yeah, and I know the Robotics Institute already exists as well. Those could have been some really interesting buildings to have out here. Although it doesn't make sense to launch a space shuttle right next to buildings, so maybe not. Could have had some cool factories out here, though. That's for sure. Could have had some really, really cool factories. But I don't think that's the worst looking spot there. I mean, I could absolutely go in and grab one of the buildings I was talking about there, because I know it exists over here somewhere. Right there is the Robotics Institute. Just to put it in a place that looks a bit more interesting. You know, just to put it somewhere where it's not gonna go to waste, essentially. How big is that building as well? It's like 3 tiles or 4 tiles? It's 4 tiles. Okay. What if we were to do this sort of thing here? Could I move that to be there? Oh, I totally could. Yeah, that looks much better in that spot. And then, like, parking or something could go out here. Oh, God. Back to the parking lots. I mean, even... Look, let's be honest. You're going to launch a shuttle. You're probably going to be there for a while. You're going to want somewhere to park your car. All right? You're gonna want somewhere to park your car. Simple as that. So parking lots are going there. I can't believe I've managed to get parking lots at my, my shuttle launch site. Oh, God. I will get them everywhere. Just be aware, ladies and gentlemen. If I can get a parking lot in there... I'm gonna. Simple as that. The boat museum would be an interesting one to have out here. The traffic park. What is the traffic park? Children come to the traffic park to learn traffic signs and rules. Alright. You know what? I might throw the traffic park, like, over here or something. I don't know, there? Oh, it's a little... Oh, it is like... Okay, that's kind of adorable. All right, we're going to keep that. We're absolutely going to keep that. So there we go. Little traffic park out there. We have our space shuttle site, which is pretty cool. Let me get the pipes underneath the whole thing so that when I do connect it to the main grid, it actually has water. So that's going to connect straight up to there, which is absolutely perfect. In terms of electricity, I mean... I'm kind of thinking we put like a tidal plant or something on the edge of this, because I think that'd be kind of cool. So maybe like a couple of wave power plants just up here. So like there And say there. And there. And there. So it's completely self-sustainable. Doesn't need power from the city, which is obviously important. And what we're also going to do is we're going to have the way to this island, because we do need people to drive here, unfortunately. The way to this island is going to be a tunnel that comes from there. Slope too steep currently. Can I do that without an ugly bit of terrain? I absolutely can. So the tunnel's going to go there, and the way to... I mean, the way to the island really should be over this way somewhere. I just don't know where. What about like that spot? If we could get it to go underneath that bit. So something like that. Just it doesn't need to be a major connection point. It just needs to connect. So that can't build on water. What if I bring it out like this and like that? So yeah, obviously not realistic, but just because traffic will need to get to that island, we're gonna have a tunnel. And we're going to try and, you know, cover the tunnel up a little bit, make it look a bit better. But we're going to have the tunnel. Just going to put a couple of rocks around the end of it, because that's apparently realism for a tunnel. I don't know. It's not really, let's be honest, but whatever. So I want some offices there and offices there. I want some offices over there. And I want, for the most part, this just all to be open. So I'm just going to put more parking lots. Not because I think we need them, not because I strictly want them around this area. I just think it's really going to help to just make it feel that bit more open, which I do want it to feel. I don't want a zone on this side. I do want it to be that kind of open looking space. But I also like the idea that we're going to have some little details and stuff like that. So some rocks, the occasional tree wouldn't hurt. Again, just all in an effort to... you know, make it so you can at least see the shuttle from the city. It doesn't make sense to have trees this close to a space shuttle launch site. They'd absolutely be wrecked with the heat and the fumes and all that stuff, but it just looks kind of pretty. You know, it looks the part, it looks nice, it looks friendly, and the terrain, you know, it doesn't leave this this just open grass feel around here. So just put a couple of those in. And even that just helps. That right there is just a nice way to just add to the area. I want to put a big rock there as well with a couple of smaller rocks around it. There we go. We can do some little rocks over here as well. A couple of little rocks over that way and that way. Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Something like that as well, perhaps. And something like that. With another large rock there. I like it. I really like it. I'm really, really pleased with that. We've got our space shuttle launch site. We also probably want to put grass on the sides of the one-way roads there. So let me just V that. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted at all. So that connects to there. And then we upgrade these to be grass lines so that traffic isn't going to be sitting at the side of those roads. So there we go. That'll stop people from parking on the roads. They're going to have to use the parking lots. We have our shuttle launch site. We have this area over here ready to be developed. We just got to wait on Demand Master. Well, not Demand Master. We got to wait in the city balancing itself out, which, as I've said, is going to take some time. A lot of buildings are going to have to be bulldozed. A lot of buildings are going to be abandoned. But it will eventually happen. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to leave it there for today. I'm really happy with what we've done. We've got our shuttle, we've got a stadium, we've got all of this space ready to develop. We just have to wait. So next time, we're going to have a couple of mods installed. Probably things like Traffic President, maybe Move It, maybe Road Anarchy. I don't know. I think Prop and Tree Anarchy at least. Also a tree brush would be nice. But I'm going to have a couple of mods installed. If people are interested, what I'm going to do is I'll throw up this is if you're interested. So, you know, like the video, leave a comment, all that kind of stuff. The more comments, likes, all that stuff, you know, the quickly, you know, it's going to happen quicker. But if people are interested, I'll go ahead and throw the save for this map, for this city thus far, up onto the Steam Workshop. I know a lot of people have wanted me to do that before I add any mods to it. So, you know, if that's the thing people want, absolutely let me know. But with that in mind, as always, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!